Today we're going to look at the features and the installation procedures for Tech Teams number 917 2-inch stem mount ball casters with brake. This is a simple do-it-yourself project. The only tools that you will need is a drill index with appropriate size drills, a power drill, and a hammer or a mallet. Just to make sure we're on the right track here, there are two different ways you can mount a ball caster. One way is with a top plate, and the other way is with a stem. We're not done yet as far as making sure that you get the exact correct caster. Now when it comes to stem mount casters, there's more than one type. This is what's known as a grip neck stem. You can see that right there. And this is what we have in our ball caster. It's roughly 7.8 millimeters in diameter, and it's roughly 38 millimeters long. Then we have what's known as a grip ring stem caster. And you see this right here, this little ring, see this thing turning around here? All right? And this is 10.8 millimeters diameter and roughly 22 millimeters long. Do not confuse the two because they're for very different applications. The caster with the short, fat grip ring stem is designed to be used exclusively on office type chairs, and they come in sets of 5. Not only that, but the socket in the office chair base fits them perfectly, and it will not fit the other one. The important point we want to make here is that take a really good look at what your application is. Take measurements, compare them to the measurements for our products to make sure that you get the exact correct mount and the exact correct caster. If you do that, all will be well. It doesn't matter whether you have a top stem caster or our top plate mount caster. The ball on either one is almost exactly 2 inches. It's nominal 2 inches, so here you're going to see it's actually 1.96 inches. I mean, how much closer can you get than that? And if you want to do a metric conversion, that's 49.8 millimeters. The roller is precision formed, heavy duty, high impact plastic. And both of them have a locking device that has an on-off indicator, so you know exactly what you're doing when you lock this thing up. And in these, you just turn this clockwise, and bingo, you've stopped the wheel from turning, and you've locked up your piece of furniture. With the exception of how they get mounted, both casters are basically identical, and therefore they both have the same antique brass finish and the same ball bearings so that they swivel easily. The ball rides on bushings and an axle that goes all the way through. You can save yourself a lot of trouble if you take a good look at the two different types of casters, their features, and how they get mounted, as this will save you a lot of aggravation when you actually get into the project. This video is going to be for the caster that gets mounted with a stem. One point we feel we need to make is that the stem on the bottom of the caster does not get put into a hole that you drill into the raw wood in the bottom of the leg. Because if we did that, what would happen is eventually the hole would wear, it would go out around, and you wouldn't have a very happy outcome. We therefore supply one bushing or sleeve for each caster. And this particular sleeve has, you can see right here, it has teeth all around the circumference of, and what happens is we make a hole for the tube here, and then we smack this into the hole against here, and the teeth grip. And what happens, this becomes an interface between the steel stem on the caster and the soft wood of the chair leg. This way we end up with a very satisfactory and long-term installation. Okay, now the important stuff. The diameter of this bushing right up here is 0.35 inches. Now, we all know that 0.375 inches is 3/8 of an inch. So what we're going to do is use a 3/8 inch drill bit to drill our hole, and then we're going to mount the bushing in the hole and then mount the caster into the bushing. Just as a point of reference, the length of the bushing is 1.21 inches. The length of the stem on the caster, as you can see here, is 1.5 inches, which means we have to drill our hole 1.5 inches or more. And we're going to drill it to about 1 5/8 inches to give us a little bit of headroom. Just to show you what happens when you're getting ready to insert the stem of the caster into the bushing that's already installed in the wood is, you can see this? It's a tight fit. Now I'm going to push it all the way because it's going to be difficult to get off, but this is the kind of fit that you want so that it securely grips the caster and it doesn't fall out. We'll show you more on this later when we actually do the installation. Basically, you have two types of legs out there. You have a round one, which has been turned on a lathe. That being the case, it has a center mark, which is easy to locate. And then you have a square one, where in order to get the center mark on this one, what we've done, and we've done a couple extra little holes here anyway, is we put cross lines in here from corner to corner, and where those lines cross is the center of the leg. As mentioned before, we have the luxury of being able to install this on a round leg, which was made on a lathe. Therefore, we have a center point position, and we're going to use that to drill our initial pilot hole. Since we need to drill our hole only 1 5/8 inches deep, what we've done is we pushed the drill bit back into the chuck far enough so that only 1 5/8 inches is showing. This way, when we bottom out the drill, it'll be exactly to the correct depth. Okay, the pilot hole is done. So now we're going to put our 3/8 inch bit into the drill and drill our hole 1 5/8 inches deep. Okay, if you're a handy enough guy that you have a collar that goes in your drill that you can use to set depth, that's great. If not, just take a piece of tape like this, and that will let us know when we get our hole to the exact correct depth, which is going to be 1 5/8 inches. Bingo, there we are. Now we take our bushing insert and we put it into the hole we drilled just like that. We take our mallet or hammer and we drive it in. You can see the teeth right there, and we want to drive it in a little bit more because we want those teeth to really bite into the wood. We used our soft face mallet to do this, but if you're going to use a steel hammer, the suggestion is to wear some ANSI approved safety goggles. Okay, we have our leg prepped, the hole drilled, the bushing in place. Now it's just simply a matter of inserting the stem of our caster and pushing it all the way in. And look at that. Nice, solid, everything turns, everything works.